Hello and welcome to the Alien Overrun gameplay overview. Alien Overrun is a cooperative game that combines exploration, resource gathering, and alien elimination. It is playable by 1 to 4 players and takes about 90 to 120 minutes. Players will play the role of mining rigs in a mining base on a far-off planet. Each player gets one of these role cards, such as combat, controller, mobility, and sniper, but on the backs there are 4 other roles. These roles are similar to each other so that the demolitions and combat do similar things as does stealth and the controller. The role cards, as you can see here, have 2 sides and a center area. The center area tells you what your basic combat dice is, your movement, your health, and in the cargo capacity that your rig has. On the left is an area where you will store your missiles, action points, and charges, weapon upgrades, and utility upgrades, or utility upgrade. On the right is your health and the role of your rig. The role is your rig's ability. Like I mentioned before, the combat has the ability to add a red dice in combat for the use of a charge. These are the basic dice in the game. High-speed drill, the machine gun, the flamethrower, missiles, and some special weapons that you can get throughout the game. We have a dice that's marked A, B, C, and a couple of 6-sided dice that go along with some of the cards in the game. So here is the base. Level A, B, and C. Think of them as A is above B, B is above C. You can move down the center shaft and back up. Each sector is a single point of movement and you have 2 movement on your turn. When you move into a space that has an alien in it or is face down, you stop. For instance, the red rig could move here for 1 movement and then here for 2, and this is when you explore. When you reach a face down sector, you flip it face up. So after you've moved, you flip up a card from the encounter deck. We'll flip one up here and take a quick look at it. So here we go. On this one, we read the card top to bottom, and we're on level A, so we would do this line. If we were on B, we would do this. C, we would do the 3rd line, and then if the sector is infested, we do this line. A sector becomes infested at the end of your turn if there are 5 or more aliens in it, and you remove those aliens and place a large aggressor alien and infest the sector. This creates a sector that is much more difficult to clear and must be cleared of the infestation before you can activate the sector, which is important because you're not only moving through the base, you're exploring and you're collecting materials. Tungsten, copper, uranium, and unknown ore. You're collecting these materials so that you can go to the workshop, and here's an example of the workshop on level A. There's a limited amount of each thing on this on level A. Here's level B. And again, limited amounts of different types of weapons and utility upgrades, and their cost. So you will need to move through the base, find your materials, take it to the workshop, and purchase your dice. The aliens get more difficult through the base on the cards, so you will notice the easier aliens here, a little bit harder than the hardest down at the level C. Somewhere on level C is the alien queen, sitting somewhere in the reactor core. As you explore, you will find artifacts and equipment crates. Artifacts are very powerful cards that let you even do things such as altering the reality by swapping 2 sectors in the base. Equipment crates are less powerful but grant you things like missiles and charge upgrade, and recharges. This is the onslaught deck. The onslaught deck is drawn when you fight the queen and then occasionally from the encounter cards. An onslaught card is added to the encounter deck each time you run through it, and when you run through the deck 3 times, the game is over. Over here we have the queen with 25 health. The dice here have direct and area damage on some of them, such as this dice, and the missiles and the flamethrower are area damage, whereas the machine gun and the mining high-speed drill are direct damage. Area damage hits all the aliens, direct damage hits individual aliens. There are 5 different types of aliens, and if you do not defeat those aliens, they do that much damage back to you. Like I said, each rig starts with 8 health. If it reaches 0, it becomes incapacitated, which means you're just tipped sideways until another rig can heal you, which is easy to do. You can heal for 3 with an action point. So as you fight the queen, you will draw an encounter card and an onslaught card. The onslaught cards have got a section at the top that you do on every level you're on. This one places a level 6 powered alien somewhere randomly in the base. The yellow line is done only when you are fighting the queen, and on the bottom, again, we have the infested line. When you fight the queen, you have to clear all the aliens out of the sector first. Any leftover direct damage dice that you have that aren't assigned to clearing the aliens is assigned to hitting the queen. She starts with 25 health.
And when she reaches 0, she's dead. Game over.